Maya clutched her lunch bag as she walked through the abandoned industrial district. The 12-year-old had taken this shortcut home from school countless times, but today felt different. The autumn air carried an unusual metallic smell, and strange lights had been dancing across the sky all morning. Her stomach growled loudly. Inside her bag was a peanut butter and jelly sandwich her grandmother had made that morning. Grandma Rose always packed extra food, worried that Maya wasn't eating enough. The sandwich was thick with creamy peanut butter and strawberry jam, wrapped carefully in wax paper with a small note that read, "Love you, little star." Maya smiled at the memory, but stopped when she heard a soft, whimpering sound coming from behind a cluster of rusted shipping containers. Her curiosity overcame her caution as she approached the source of the noise. What she found made her gasp. A creature unlike anything she had ever seen lay curled against the cold concrete. It was roughly the size of a large house cat, but covered in shimmering fur that seemed to change colors in the dim light. Its body was lean and graceful, with 6 legs ending in delicate paws. Most striking were its eyes, large, intelligent, and filled with pain. They were a deep purple that reminded Maya of her favorite amethyst necklace. The creature was clearly injured. One of its middle legs bent at an unnatural angle, and a dark substance that might have been blood stained its beautiful fur. It looked up at Maya with those incredible eyes, and she saw something there that made her heart ache. Fear, yes, but also a desperate hope. Maya had always been drawn to hurt animals. She had rescued countless birds, nursed wounded squirrels back to health, and even helped a stray dog find its way home. But this was different. This creature was clearly not from Earth, yet the pain in its eyes was universal. She knelt down slowly, making herself as small and non-threatening as possible. "Hey there, little one," she whispered softly. "It's okay, I won't hurt you." The creature tilted its head, and Maya could have sworn she saw recognition flicker across its features. It made a sound that was part purr, part musical note, hauntingly beautiful yet sad. Without hesitation, Maya opened her lunch bag and unwrapped her sandwich. The creature's nostrils flared as the scent reached it, and its eyes widened with what looked like surprise and longing. Maya tore off a small piece and held it out on her palm. The alien feline sniffed cautiously, then delicately took the food with a tongue that was surprisingly warm and rough, like a regular cat's but with a slight electric tingle. It chewed slowly, its eyes closing in what appeared to be bliss. The purring sound grew stronger, more melodic. Encouraged by this response, Maya continued feeding the creature small pieces of her sandwich. With each bite, the alien seemed to grow stronger. Its fur began to shimmer more brightly, and the injured leg appeared to be healing itself somehow. "You were really hungry, weren't you?" Maya said softly. "I know what that's like. Sometimes Grandma forgets to go grocery shopping and all we have is crackers and hope." The creature looked at her with those incredible purple eyes, and Maya felt a strange connection forming. It was as if the alien understood not just her words, but the kindness behind them. As she gave the creature the last piece of her sandwich, Maya noticed something extraordinary happening. The air around them began to shimmer, and she felt a gentle warmth spreading through her chest. The creature's eyes were now glowing softly, and its purring had become a complex melody that seemed to resonate in her bones. Suddenly, the creature stood on all 6 legs, apparently fully healed. It approached Maya and gently touched her forehead with one of its paws. The moment of contact sent a wave of images and emotions flooding through her mind. She saw vast ships sailing between stars, a beautiful world with 3 moons and crystal cities, and beings of incredible intelligence and grace living in harmony with nature. She felt their sorrow at being lost and alone, their gratitude for her simple act of kindness, and something else, a promise. The creature stepped back and looked at Maya with what she now recognized as deep respect. It made that musical sound again, but this time it seemed like words she somehow understood. "Thank you, kind little one. Your compassion has been noted by those who matter most." Before Maya could respond, the creature began to glow more brightly. The light became so intense that she had to close her eyes. When she opened them again, the alien was gone, but something small and warm remained in her hand. It was a small crystalline object, no bigger than a marble, that pulsed with the same purple light as the creature's eyes. As Maya stared at it, she felt a strange, tingling sensation spreading through her body, and she knew that this was just the beginning of something extraordinary. The walk home seemed to pass in a blur. Maya kept touching the crystal in her pocket, feeling its gentle warmth against her fingers. She wanted to tell someone about what had happened, but who would believe her? Instead, she decided to keep the secret close to her heart, at least for now. That evening at dinner, Grandma Rose noticed something different about Maya. "You're glowing, child," she said with a knowing smile. "Did something special happen today?" Maya just smiled and helped clear the dishes, the crystal humming softly in her pocket. She had no idea that by morning her small act of kindness would change everything, not just for her, but for all of humanity. Maya woke up at dawn to find her bedroom filled with a soft, purple glow. The crystal she had hidden under her pillow was now floating 3 feet above her bed, pulsing with increasing intensity. As she sat up, rubbing her eyes, the crystal suddenly projected a holographic image that made her gasp. Standing in her room, translucent but clearly visible, was the alien creature she had helped the day before. But it wasn't alone. Behind it stood 3 other beings, tall, graceful figures that looked like a cross between humans and cats, with the same color-shifting fur and intelligent purple eyes. "Do not be afraid, young human," the familiar creature spoke, its voice now clearly audible in her mind. "I am of the exploration fleet. These are my superiors, commander, science officer, and cultural specialist." Maya's heart pounded, but she found her voice. "You're really here? I mean, yesterday wasn't just a dream." The tall figure introduced as commander stepped forward. Unlike more feline appearance, stood upright like a human but retained the graceful movements and shimmering fur. "Yesterday was very real, young one, and it has changed the course of galactic history." Science officer, who appeared to be examining readings from a device that materialized in their hands, looked up with amazement. "Commander, the readings are even more extraordinary than we initially calculated. This child's neural patterns show unprecedented compatibility with our quantum resonance technology." Maya didn't understand half of what they were saying, but she sensed the excitement in their voices. "I just shared my sandwich," she said simply. "Anyone would have done the same thing." The 3 adults exchanged glances that Maya couldn't interpret. Cultural specialist, whose fur seemed to shift through more colors than the others, spoke gently. "Child, we have been observing your species for over 50 of your years. In that time, we have witnessed countless acts of cruelty, selfishness, and violence. We have also seen some kindness, but usually only between members of your own species, and often with expectation of reward." Commander continued the explanation. "What you did yesterday was different. You saw a being unlike any you had ever encountered, clearly alien and potentially dangerous, and your first instinct was to help. You gave up your own food without hesitation, expecting nothing in return." Maya felt her cheeks redden. It just seemed like the right thing to do. "Exactly," purred, her tail swishing with obvious pleasure. "That instinctive compassion across species barriers is what we have been searching for across the galaxy. It is the mark of a truly evolved consciousness." Held up their scanning device again. "Moreover, the quantum resonance between this child and our technology suggests that humans possess latent capabilities we never suspected. The crystal has bonded with her bioenergy in ways that should be impossible for a species that hasn't achieved interstellar travel." Maya looked down at the crystal, which had now settled gently into her open palm. "What does that mean exactly?" Commander's expression grew serious. "It means, young Maya, that your species may be far more important to the galaxy than anyone realized. For centuries, the Galactic Federation has been searching for what we call bridge species, races capable of forming deep empathic connections across biological and cultural barriers. Added, such species are incredibly rare. In our exploration of over 10,000 worlds, we have found only 12 true bridge species. They become the mediators, the peacekeepers, the ones who can bring understanding between very different forms of life." Maya's mind reeled. "But I'm just a kid. I live with my grandmother in a small apartment. I don't even do that well in school." "Your formal education is irrelevant," said warmly. "What matters is the content of your character. The Federation has protocols for this situation. If a bridge species is discovered, they are offered membership and all the benefits that come with it." Device chimed softly. "Commander, we're receiving priority communications from the Council has been monitoring our transmissions. They want to accelerate the timeline." Commander nodded gravely. "Maya, I must ask you something very important. Would you be willing to serve as Earth's first ambassador to the Galactic Federation? It would mean traveling to our worlds, learning our ways, and eventually helping to guide the integration of your species into galactic society. The weight of the question hit Maya like a physical force. But what about my grandmother? What about my life here? Stepped closer, their expression gentle. We would never ask you to abandon those you love. If you accept, your grandmother would be welcome to accompany you. And your role as ambassador would eventually bring great benefits to all of Earth, advanced technology, medical knowledge, solutions to your environmental challenges. Maya thought about her grandmother, who had raised her after her parents died in a car accident. Grandma Rose had always told her that kindness was the most important thing in the world, more valuable than money or power or fame. Now it seemed that philosophy might save the entire planet. I need to talk to my grandmother first, Maya said finally. She's the person I know. I won't make this decision without her. The three smiled, an expression that looked both alien and familiar on their feline features. Commander bowed slightly. Your loyalty to your family only confirms our assessment. We will remain in orbit until tomorrow at sunset. Take the time you need to decide. As the holographic figures began to fade, his voice echoed in Maya's mind one last time. Remember, little bridge builder, the greatest journeys often begin with the smallest acts of kindness. The crystal settled back onto Maya's nightstand, still glowing softly. Outside her window, she could see the first hints of dawn painting the sky in shades of pink and gold. In a few hours, she would need to wake up her grandmother and tell her that their quiet life was about to change forever. Maya dressed quickly and went to the kitchen to make breakfast. As she prepared Grandma Rose's favorite tea and toast, she practiced different ways to explain what had happened. How do you tell someone that aliens exist, that humanity might join a galactic federation, and that it all started with sharing a peanut butter and jelly sandwich? The crystal pulsed gently in her pocket, and somehow Maya knew that whatever came next, she wouldn't face it alone. Grandma Rose sat quietly at their small kitchen table, her weathered hands wrapped around her favorite teacup. Maya had spent the last hour explaining everything: the injured alien, the crystal, the holographic visitors, and the incredible offer to become Earth's first galactic ambassador. To her amazement, her grandmother had listened to every word without interruption, her expression growing more thoughtful but never skeptical. "Show me the crystal little star," Grandma Rose said finally. Maya pulled the glowing object from her pocket. As soon as it appeared, the crystal began to pulse more brightly, and suddenly the kitchen filled with the same warm presence Maya had felt the day before. Grandma Rose's eyes widened, but not with fear, with wonder. "I can feel them," she whispered. "There's so much kindness in that light, so much hope." She looked at Maya with tears in her eyes. "Your parents would be so proud. You've always had the biggest heart of anyone I know." Before Maya could respond, the crystal projected another holographic image. This time, it showed Commander standing in what appeared to be the bridge of a spacecraft. The view through the ship's windows revealed Earth hanging in space like a beautiful blue marble. "Forgive the intrusion," the commander said, bowing respectfully to Grandma Rose. "But time grows short, and the Federation Council has made an unprecedented decision. They wish to accelerate the contact protocol based on Maya's remarkable compatibility with our technology." "What does that mean?" Maya asked. "It means," Kame's familiar voice as she materialized beside the commander, "that instead of the usual century-long observation period, the Federation is prepared to offer immediate contact with your global leaders, but only if you agree to serve as the bridge between our species." Grandma Rose stood up slowly, her back straight despite her 78 years. "Young lady," she said, addressing Commander with the same tone she used when Maya tracked mud through the house. "My granddaughter is 12 years old. Before you ask her to save the world, I want to know exactly what you're offering her in return." The commander's expression showed what might have been surprise, then growing respect. "Your protective instincts are admirable, elder human. Very well. If Maya accepts our offer, she would receive full Federation citizenship, which includes access to medical technology that would extend both your by several centuries. She would receive education in sciences and technologies far beyond current human understanding. Most importantly, she would be protected by Federation law and have the right to refuse any assignment that goes against her moral convictions." His voice joined the conversation as their hologram appeared. "Additionally, As Earth's ambassador, Maya would have the authority to negotiate the terms of humanity's integration into galactic society. She could ensure that your species maintains its cultural identity while gaining access to technologies that would eliminate poverty, disease, and environmental destruction. Maya felt the weight of the decision pressing down on her. But why me? I'm just one kid. There must be adults who would be better at this. Materialized last, their color-shifting fur cycling through calming blues and greens. Child, in our observations of your species, we have noticed something troubling. Many of your adults have lost the instinctive compassion that you demonstrated. They are trained to see differences as threats, to calculate cost versus benefit before acting. These qualities make them poor candidates for bridge building between species. You gave food to a strange creature without hesitation, added. That action showed a wisdom that transcends age or education. It showed the kind of consciousness that can truly unite different forms of life. Grandma Rose reached over and took Maya's hand. What does your heart tell you, little star? Maya closed her eyes and thought about everything she had learned. She thought about the alien's pain and gratitude, about the vast beauty she had seen in mind, about the possibility of helping not just Earth, but countless other worlds find peace and understanding. If I do this, she said slowly, will I still be me? Will I still be Maya who lives with Grandma Rose and makes terrible jokes and cries during sad movies? Commander's expression softened. The Federation has learned that forced change destroys what makes bridge species valuable. You would remain exactly who you are, growing and learning naturally. We would simply provide you with tools and knowledge to amplify the compassion you already possess. Maya looked at her grandmother, who nodded encouragingly. Then she looked at the crystal in her palm, feeling its warm pulse synchronize with her heartbeat. I'll do it, she said quietly, but I have conditions. The alien representatives waited silently. First, my grandmother comes with me everywhere. Second, I want to finish learning about Earth before I start learning about other worlds. And third, I want to meet other bridge species. If I'm going to do this job, I want to learn from the best. Commander smiled, an expression that transformed their feline features completely. Your conditions are not only acceptable but wise. The Federation ship, Harmony, will arrive tomorrow at dawn. It has been specially configured with living quarters suitable for humans and will serve as your base of operations. Tomorrow, Maya squeaked, that's so soon. Grandma Rose squeezed her hand. Sometimes the best adventures start with the biggest leaps of faith. The crystal suddenly flared with brilliant light, and Maya felt a surge of information flowing into her mind. But this time it wasn't overwhelming. It felt like the universe was welcoming her home. Over the next 24 hours, Maya and her grandmother packed their few precious belongings while government officials and scientists arrived to verify the impossible truth that contact had been made. The world watched in amazement as footage of the ship appeared on every news channel. When dawn came, Maya stood in the same industrial district where she had first met. But now she wasn't alone. Grandma Rose stood beside her, along with world leaders, scientists, and reporters from every major news organization on Earth. The ship that descended from the morning sky was nothing like the flying saucers of old movies. It was graceful and organic-looking, like a flower made of light and metal. As it settled gently on the ground, Maya felt the crystal in her pocket pulse with warmth. Emerged first, no longer a hologram but real and solid. Behind her came Commander and the other officers, along with several humans, previous ambassadors from other bridge species worlds who had volunteered to help with Maya's training. Are you ready, little bridge builder? Asked, offering her six-fingered hand. Maya looked back at the crowd of humans watching with hope and fear and wonder. Then she looked at her grandmother, who winked and said, Lead the way, ambassador. Taking's hand, Maya felt the future opening up before her like a vast, beautiful garden. Her simple act of sharing a sandwich had grown into something magnificent, a bridge between worlds, built on the foundation of pure, uncalculated kindness. As they walked toward the ship together,